One of the more powerful features of the John Purchase Public School website is the ability for authenticated users to add content. That means you can add your own web pages. To do that, you go to Manage JPPS Add Web Page, and it brings up this form. The first thing you should do is give your page a title, and the title should be relevant to what you're actually trying to show someone. The next bit is the menu settings. You'll want to put your page in one of the menus so that people can actually find it. To do that, you give it a title in the menu, you locate it in the menu, and you do that by finding the parent under which you would want to put it. In our case, we'll make it another program, so we'll put it under the Programs menu. We'll leave the weight as 0, so it's sorted alphabetically. The next step is typing in the text and formatting the page. There's an editor here which allows you to do things like add hyperlinks, add images, create formats for your text, and create numbered lists. I think it's probably best to leave it up to the user to experiment with this and see what they can actually do. But I'll show a few of the things. The first thing that we'll do is create a table. We'll make a 1 row by 3 column table. We'll set border size to 0 so no border is displayed. And in our case, we'll create a 100% width table. Now this table is similar to tables that I've created in other web pages, and it's used for a basic formatting. On the left you can put something like a picture. In the middle row you just add a few spaces to separate the left and the right, and in the right you can type some text. For example, we'll type test page, and we'll give that a heading 2 format, and then we can type some text. And we'll make that bold. We'll select it and make it bold. In the left side, what I'll do is add an image. Now, as with adding images to a photo gallery, you need to make sure that you rescale the images before you upload them. You need to get them small so that the user doesn't have to download a full image. Using Picture Manager, which is described in another video, I've actually scaled this image to 225 by 150. So I'll open that image, send it to the server. I'd already uploaded that, hence the rename. We'll give it some text, alternative text, which is displayed if someone has got images turned off in their browser. Now, the other two important settings are width and height. Once you've uploaded an image of a reasonable size, in this case 225 by 150, you can then manipulate the size, refine the size in the browser by specifying these settings. For example, if we wanted to only make it 120 high, we could type 120 there, and that will scale it and make the width 180. But remember, you shouldn't rely on that exclusively. You don't want to upload a large 4 megabyte file and then try to have the browser scale it with this, because the user still has to download the whole 4 megabyte file before the browser can scale it. Press OK and save, and now you can see we've got an image formatted. We'll put a few spaces in here to separate things, and then we've got some text that we've typed in there. Another thing you can do in here is create links. We'll type in some text, highlight it, and then select the hyperlink button, and then we can put in the URL that we want to launch when someone clicks on that text. One other interesting thing in this dialog is the target option. By default it's not set, and that means when someone clicks on that link, it'll just then reload that data in the current tab of the current browser. You can actually specify a new window here, and that means the data will be loaded in a new window rather than in the current window. It's a useful way of keeping someone on your page but directing them to a new window for something else. For example, if you were going off-site to another, something like Mathletics, you could open Mathletics in a new window and keep the current page open in the on the John Purchase site. So we've got the link, we've set the target, we'll go OK. And that probably covers the basic things. As I said, you can experiment yourself with some of the other options in this browser. Most of these settings can be left as is. One interesting one is file attachments. You can actually add files to the website. You simply browse on your PC and go attach. And these files with the list ticked will be displayed under your web page as a list of downloaded files. By default, the text displayed is the file name. My recommendation is to give it a more human readable name rather than the file name with the extension. And that's what will be displayed. And it will be hyperlinked to this file here, which is the file that the user will download. The remaining option to talk about is the publishing options. By default, the page will be published. This means it will be automatically added to the menu and the user will be able to see it as soon as you press save. Sometimes you might not want that. You might want to actually save a draft, work on it, make sure you're happy with it, and then publish it once everyone's fine with it. So to start with, we won't publish the page. We'll go save. And what you'll see here is an example of the page that we've got. Now, the fact that it's highlighted there means it hasn't actually been published. It doesn't appear in our menu yet, but we can see what it actually looks like. We can see the downloads. Now, if you want to publish that at a later stage after you finish with it, you can do one or two things. You can go edit, and when you're happy with it, you can tick the published option here and go save. The second method is to go in through the manage web content option, which we'll go back here, and you'll see our test page. You'll see its status is not published yet. We can go edit. Now that we've found the page and we're happy with it, we can tick the published option and we can go save. That page will now be added to the programs. You'll see the test page there, and the page is now live. If we click on this link, we'll see a new browser window open. With a link to the John Purchase website. And that's got our original browser from which we've clicked and the new Windows session there. So that's the steps to creating a new web page. Hopefully that was not too confusing. I guess it's really going to be a case of trial and error, experimentation, make sure it looks like how you want, and just get used to the editor and what it can actually do for you. Alright, thank you.